So some of the common workflows that you can do in BricsCAD. First, you can create from scratch, or you can also import your shapefile and bring that over to BricsCAD. Then you can manage your data from there. Perhaps use it as a backdrop to do your work, or you can also use it to add and edit geometry like polylines representing streets, waterways, and so on. You can also add and edit your GIS layer, or even add and edit your GIS attributes. And of course, you can also filter your GIS data. And once you are done with your work, you can then export it out and offer it back to the GIS department. Now let's do some of those common CAD GIS workflows on BricsCAD.
When you open BricsCAD, the first thing you will notice as a CAD software user is its familiar interface. BricsCAD features a ribbon interface with different tabs and panels such as Properties panel and Layers panel, along with the command line interface. You will also find familiar toggles like eSnap and S-Track available in the status bar. BricsCAD is command compatible, which makes it ideal for longtime CAD users. Moreover, BricsCAD offers powerful tools for GIS data management. Incorporating company standards for GIS layer colors can greatly enhance data organization. You can easily set this up within your drawing, similar to what I have done here. And through the GIS tab in the Civil Explorer, we can efficiently import shapefiles, create a new GIS layer, and convert from object data with just one click. So I'll start off with importing shapefiles, and later on, I will show you how easy it is to create your GIS layer from scratch. For today, I want to bring in the roads, railways, buildings, and waterways of central Singapore. Once we have imported these shapefiles, you will be directed to the GIS import window where you can review information about your schema like the GIS layer, source coordinate system, which in this case is Singapore Grid Curtile 1968, and layer types. You also have the option to assign the data to specific drawing layers. For example, for the roads, I have the option to assign to an existing layer, a new layer, or a layer from data fields. So I'm going to do layer from data field and then by type. I can also specify the import area, but let's just import it all for today. As you can see, the data comes in as expected and color assignments have been applied as well. The first thing that I tend to do is to assign a GIS coordinate system to ensure that whatever changes I do will align with the shapefile that I imported. And just like our source coordinate system earlier, I will assign Singapore Grid. Hit OK and done. What I'll now do is I will turn off the other layers and inspect the roads layer further. When we click on any of these lines and go to the Properties panel, you get to see the GIS data attached to them. You have the GIS layer, name, type, and some other information available here. Now let's take a look at another one. You can see that the GIS data is accurately displayed in your properties. As we can see, this is Marina Bay Street Circuit and it is a raceway. The GIS tab in the Civil Explorer provides access to the attribute table, which consolidates information like names, types, maximum speed, and more. In short, information we would expect from a GIS data. So it is similar to the information we saw in the Properties panel, but here it gives you access to the data in that layer all at the same time. You can also rearrange the table by dragging the columns, and you can control the displayed columns through the column layout dialog box. So maybe I don't need the ref column and I think that it is not relevant to me, so I can just uncheck that. And once we hit apply, you can see that it has now been excluded on the table. Now, not only does the attribute table consolidate information, it also has filtering options. So, If you need to sort your data or search through it, don't worry, BricsCAD has got you covered. Most GIS data have hundreds or even thousands of information in them, so this is an incredibly useful feature. It actually works in an if-and as well as an if-or function. So let's try it out. Let's say I want to double check the information I have in here. In Singapore, generally, the speed limit ranges from 30 to 90 kilometers per hour, so anything beyond that would most likely be wrong. With the filtering option, I can check if there is any information that is off and quickly correct that. Now let's explore a situation where there is a new water pipe construction project that you or your team is involved in, and you are tasked to integrate that into your existing GIS data. We have the option to create custom schemas or create a GIS layer from scratch. We can simply define a name, say water for water pipes, and a geometry type, and proceed to add as many fields as you want. In this case, we want to add the depth by meter, and then we can also add perhaps material, and last but not the least, we can add thickness or diameter in millimeter. Then let's just hit the type. Once completed, you will have your new GIS layer. Now let's add GIS features to it. Assume that the new pipe construction spans from around here to here and here to here. Of course, you can add more as per your actual data, but this should be enough for demo purposes. Now going back to our table, we will add these new water pipes in with the corresponding data. I'm just going to assume some numbers to input in here for today. Let's say depth is 1.2, material is PVC, and diameter is to be 150 millimeters. And as easy as that, you see that you have created your new GIS layer with attributes. It is such a simple process to follow that almost, if not everyone, can do it too. Now let's look at a scenario where we have a shapefile for an existing drainage pipe network and proceed to bring that in. However, we know that the coordinates aren't totally accurate. So to fix that inaccuracy of the location, we have got the surveyor to work out exactly what bearing and distance it is from a certain control point, so I'll bring that layer in as well. I'll switch out the color to a more obvious color like cyan so that we can see it easier. And now you can see that the control points are represented by these triangles. Here are the control points that were established by the surveyor. We have observed that the first two manholes has a bearing of north 47 degrees 59 minutes east with a distance of 265.97 meters and north 22 degrees 55 minutes west with a distance of 93.65 meters from that station respectively. So let's go ahead and compare the locations from the surveyor with the shapefile that we have. We can use transparent commands to create a line. And by the way, this line that I am actually drawing is just a piece of temporary geometry just for reference purposes. Now let's draw out our first line using bearing and distance. So northeast, and then put in the angle, 47 degrees 59 minutes with a distance of 265.97. And enter. Now let's do the second line. Bearing and distance once again, and northwest this time with 22 degrees and 55 minutes with a distance of 93.65 meters. Once we're done, you will see that the first pipe has a correct location. However, the second one is a little off. We can adjust the pipe using grip edits to match it. Simply just hold it like you normally would, and you can just drag it on there. And then we can proceed to delete the temporary lines. Once the adjustments are complete, we can export the shapefile with the corrected coordinates and offer it to the GIS department for them to do their further work on it. Let's give it a name of maybe pipes_corrected and hit save. So just to show you that our shapefile has been successfully exported, when I click import, you will see that our layer is now reflected here too. And there you have it, folks, a straightforward process to streamline your workflow. So to summarize what we have seen today, we saw how BricsCAD simplifies the process of importing shapefiles. Moreover, we were also able to manage the GIS schemas and harness the CAD capabilities to streamline your GIS tasks, creating a more practical and efficient workflow. And as a little bit of bonus, in terms of having the CAD guys and GIS guys interact, we can always use the CAD systems to get the survey accurate coordinates and offer it back to the GIS guys for them to process. So, if what we have shown today is what you need to do with your GIS data, then BricsCAD is definitely for you. So again, today we have seen that you don't need to convert your GIS file types to CAD type. You don't need to learn or purchase a new GIS software. You can also use BricsCAD to read and edit GIS object data created from legacy CAD software. BricsCAD also allows you to continue using CAD in doing your GIS work. And with the use of transparent commands, you don't need to convert your data from Common Civil Survey formats. And of course, let us not forget, aside from providing the many benefits and functionalities, BricsCAD also offers flexible licensing. Again, we offer perpetual and subscription, as well as single, volume, and network licensing. It really depends on what your team needs. With that, I would like to thank you for tuning into today's webinar. I hope you find this webinar to be insightful, and I hope I was able to show you how BricsCAD provides a different and unique approach to helping you, our customers, especially those in the CAD environment, who requires access to GIS data.